I'm Barbara Carlton, and I'm a core volunteer with San Diego Opera, and I started volunteering for the company in 2014, shortly after the company's unfortunate experience with nearly closing. And I had not really thought that there was such a thing as volunteers for the performing arts, but I discovered that there was, and I've never looked back. One of the first jobs that I had, as most volunteers have with the opera, was ushering for student night at the opera, which is the most wonderful program. And the Civic Theater filled with 2,000 students from grades 3 to 12, so I hope everybody knows about that. There was a production of Tosca. It was the last time they did Tosca. I didn't really know what to expect from the kids. I didn't know if they would be like too cool for opera, or if somebody was making them come, or if they would be, I didn't know. I just had no, or if they'd be rambunctious. I did not know what to expect. And it turns out that the students are the best audiences. They are so engaged and so actively following everything that's going on and so unfiltered. So, of course, everybody knows the story of Tosca, when the evil Scarpia is putting the make on her and she very surreptitiously grabs the carving knife and stabs him with it. Well, I have never experienced a moment in any theater like that. I thought the roof was going to fly off the building. They screamed so loudly because they were following every little thing, every nuance, every sound, every gesture. They were following. And they just yelled to beat the band. And what could the stodgy adults in there do? They yelled right along with them. It was one of the most electrifying moments I've ever had in any theater, and I think a lot of lifelong opera fans were hooked that night. That's what I think. I actually grew up with San Diego Opera. I went with my mother at age about 9 to the very first San Diego Opera production of La Boheme at the Civic Theater, which was brand new at the time, and attended with her all through my junior high, high school, college years, and again when I came back after living elsewhere. And I still keep 2 tickets, and I always try to bring a friend, a guest. And my very favorite thing is to bring people who have never been to an opera, or who are new to the art form. I love showing people that it's not snooty, that it's not some sort of sacred temple where you have to be part of the priesthood in order to get into the inner sanctum, that it's storytelling with music, fabulous music, wonderful stories of all kinds, light and dark, and that it really is something that brings a lot of richness to my life, and hopefully to other people's lives as well. And I think that a civilization is, as much as anything, defined by its arts, and not to have them, the performing arts, the visual arts, music, literature, architecture, not to have these things is just not conceivable to me. I think that we would be so much poorer if we didn't, and I'm just thrilled to be able to touch that world, because it's not my regular world. So being able to volunteer for the opera has just been fabulous for me.